A very good morning, Fabio here, and welcome back to the one and only daily market outlook where we discuss all your favorite Forex pairs and of course gold. So we're going to start off here with EURUSD and see where it is most likely going to be heading next. So euro dollar dropped in towards the downside yesterday with a slight bearish doji candle, and since the Asian session we have started to push down. Now obviously what we're looking for here on the daily time frame is still a further upside continuation in line with the overall breakout of this descending wedge in towards the upside, retest of a daily area of demand, and now we're looking for the next impulsive phase in towards the highs to take out what? To take out weekly liquidity, which is resting above this little bump in the high over here. So overall on the daily time frame, I am still looking for longs, but are we at a good area of value yet? Well, in my opinion, not. What I'm looking for here on EURUSD is the overall market structure that we have, and that is from this low in towards this high. This is your overall daily bullish fractal range, and what I'm now looking for is pretty much a retracement at least back down in towards the 0.5 fib, which is this blue line over here, before then looking for further upside. For the rest, we have a area of a daily demand over here, which broke this daily fractal high. Why is this a daily fractal high? Well, because if we look at structure, we had a push up, push down, push up, push down, push up, and then we had a break of structure in towards downside. And at the time, this was the most recent high, which broke the structure. Therefore, this is a crucial high. This is a fractal high in my opinion. And now we've broken that fractal high. What is in the most recent low that broke that high? That is this low over here. Therefore, this is now your daily fractal range. Therefore, I'm now looking for further longs inside of that daily imbalance, which broke that daily fractal high. And now on the lower time frame, I'll be looking for confirmation inside of it. So now if we drop down in towards the 4 hour, we can still see that the overall decline has now been put in. For now, this area of supply is currently in control. And I'm still interested in some further downside here from EURUSD to at least take out obviously these two equal lows, and then also looking at this overall 4 hour area of demand, this wick. That is where I expect there to be demand inside of. Going in towards the 1 hour time frame, then you can very clearly see, here we have a overall sell before a strong buy up. This sell for the buy up has not yet been touched on, so it is a fresh area of demand. At the time, we didn't tap into that demand zone, as you can see over here, and now we have these equal lows, which we're currently taking out, and I'm now looking for the overall order flow that we have now created over here to continue in towards the downside, in towards that daily area and that 4 hour area of demand. So short-term shorts on the table for EURUSD, looking just to continue to see the market pushing down lower, and then we want to see a push in towards that area of 4 hour demand slash daily demand slash 1 hour demand to then look for that further potential upside from EU. Yes, I am aware that the overall market on EU is a little bit consolidative. If we just draw in this range trading tool, you can very clearly see over here that the overall 75% mark is a natural area of resistance. We absolutely tapped that to the T, and the 25% mark is an area of support, but that's why I'm letting this 75% mark push the market a little bit lower, and then we'll get in a little bit lower around the 50% level of the overall range, which is naturally also an area of support and resistance. But obviously we'll be waiting for some lower time frame confirmation once we come back down in towards that daily area of demand. But yeah, let's see if that pushes down lower. That would hold my preference for now. Going into the dollar index, because obviously we need dollar index confirmation as well to look for those sells. And here on the dollar, I have cleaned up my chart a bit, as you can see. Now, I just want to keep it extremely simple so that if you're watching this video, you will understand what I'm looking for. By the way, guys, this afternoon at 2:30, so New York Open, we are going live here on YouTube. So make sure to stay tuned for that and join in and ask all your questions there. But what we had here on the weekly time frame on the dollar was a overall change of character. So overall, what we saw was this overextend move in towards the upside. So we get this overall push up, push down, push up, push down, push up, and then boom, we start breaking the market structure over here. So that's kind of like my first confirmation that this then became your area of supply. Then shortly after that, we retest the area of supply all the way back up into the extreme. You could have refined that weekly area of supply to this doji candle over here. We tap into that, and then we start pushing back down lower again. Then once again, we see another weekly fractal break in towards the downside. And now what is in control? This buy before the sell is now your area of supply that is in control. Then what you want to do is you want to drop down the time frame into the daily, and then what we'll see over there is that the daily time frame also has a area of supply inside of that weekly supply zone. And that is the simplicity of trading supply and demand. All you're trying to do is just stack zones within zones. So we have a weekly zone, then we have a daily zone, and on the daily zone we'll go and look for a 4 hour zone. So inside that daily zone, this is the buy up before the sell down. Therefore, this is still untouched. So we could still just retrace in towards there and then look for that sell off. At the moment, this here is your daily fractal high. This here is your daily fractal low. So talking about this from a market structure perspective, this here is your bearish range that we're looking to sell inside of. And obviously the dollar index still has room to pull up higher if we look at it from a premium versus discount perspective. And then you can also see that here you have a very nice daily imbalance candle, which obviously started to break all of the lows here in towards the downside, where a lot of supply should be inside of. So I'm either looking for shorts from that area of supply in towards the lows, or I'm just looking for it to sell off immediately from where we are currently situated, as on the 4-hour time frame there is imbalance over here inside of these imbalance candles. That could push the market down lower, but for now, again, you can see that the overall kind of like 1-hour trend is still in towards the upside. So I'm not looking to short this only until this little uptrend here breaks. That would confirm that this 4-hour supply zone could be valid, but otherwise just wait for that higher supply zone and then look for the higher probability shorts, which should come from there. But overall, looking good here from a daily perspective for the downside still, and obviously the target still remains, that is this low over here of around 105,420. Going into AUDUSD, there was a interest rate decision made last night. If we look here at Forex Factory, we can very clearly see here an RBA statement by the Reserve Bank board. So they said at its meeting today, the board decided to lower the cash rate target to 4.10% and the interest rate paid on exchange settlement balances to 4%. Inflation has fallen substantially since the peak in 2022, as higher interest rates have been working to bring aggregate demand and supply closer towards balance. Now, very simply said, when interest rates drop, that is not always seen as good for currency. However, with AUDUSD, it was already priced in, as it was already very outspoken, or everybody was already aware of the fact that there would be a rate cut. Therefore, AUDUSD did see a short-term drop last night in towards the downside, but then you can see that it just rebuys all the way back to those pre-kind of Asian session levels, and that is because of the fact that, again, the news announcement was already widely known of what would be said and what would be done. But overall here from AUDUSD, pretty much the same analysis still stands. Zooming out into the weekly perspective, we can still see that, again, here we liquidate the range low and here we liquidated a range high. Now I'm just looking for still a further upside push from AUDUSD. Overall, AUDUSD has pretty much out of all of these dollar pairs completed its target for the most. You have, for example, gotten a weekly area of imbalance over here, which could push the market down lower. But overall, I am more interested in still looking just for a deeper retracement in towards the highs, back up at least in towards the 50% mark. So then I go in towards the lower time frame, and then we'll follow the overall daily trend. So here on the daily time frame, we can very clearly see that we get the push up, push down, push up. And now we're just looking for the next push down to trade the next push up and take out all of these descending highs that we have situated over here. So overall, again, following the daily fractal structure, I understand that this dotted line, or this dot over here, is my fractal low, so that should be respected at all times. And then I'm just looking for a push back down in towards this sell before the buy up here. And then from there, we'll look for a further long position. So that's what I'm looking for in AUDUSD. Going in towards the lower time frame, there's not really much to trade, as it's pretty much just consolidating over here, as we can very clearly see. So wait for it to drop a little bit lower, and then we'll look for long positions. But yeah, if you want to scalp trade this, then please do not. There are much interesting pairs, or much more interesting pairs out there. There is potential for it to sell off, as this supply zone over here is now in control. That is a supply zone, because here we had a fractal structure shift, and now push down, now push back up, and now you could see another push down in towards that daily area of demand. So look for those short-term shorts potentially here on AU. Going into GBPUSD, so GBPUSD is actually one of the most bullish of them all at the time. Yesterday we even established a new high over here, which was more kind of like a liquidity grab to fuel the next move down. A lot of liquidity being engineered here underneath all of these equal ascending lows. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we start taking those out very, very soon. I would prefer those to get taken out, honestly, because here from a daily perspective, again, what I would like to see is another push down again, taking out pretty much those ascending lows that I just explained, but then also trading back in towards its daily order flow. So again, what we had here was a sell for the buy acts as demand. Here we have a sell before the buy acting as demand, and now again we have a area of range with a sell before a buy, and that should again act as demand. So looking for that push down on GU to then look for longs inside of that sell before the buy up. And then obviously we have a refined area of demand over here on this imbalance candle, which ideally would be hit, and which aligns beautifully with the 50% retracement level. So that's what I'm looking for on GU from a daily perspective. Looking also to take out all of these descending highs over here where liquidity is resting above. Again, dollar index still has potential to pull up higher. That means that GU still has some potential to push down lower. And then once AU, or the dollar index, excuse me, reaches its area of supply, then the dollar index should push down again, and then GU should push up again, and then hopefully we retrace nicely towards that 50% level. That is obviously the ideal world. Doesn't need to happen, no. We could also just start pushing up already after just grabbing liquidity underneath these lows, but then I'll keep an eye on the 4-hour change of character, so then potentially already go long. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at on GU. Could it already just continue pushing up higher? Yes, but I will be looking, and I will be most interested in shorts if we do push down deeper. Going into NZDUSD, we can see that NZDUSD has made a nice retracement in towards the downside, a lot nicer than the other pairs, which is very nice to see. Looking for longs on this as well. Obviously, if we go into the weekly time frame real quick, we can see that we had an overextended weekly push. But yeah, what is overextended? Right here, we also had a massive push down with just one weekly bullish candle, and then it just started falling all the way back down again. So it doesn't mean that we have to retrace up higher, but I'm just basing this mainly off what is happening with the dollar index, because obviously I would like to see NU push down deeper and, for example, take out this, or excuse me, did we take out that low? Let me check real quick. No, so we didn't take out that weekly liquidity low. So preferably I would have taken out that weekly liquidity low before seeing that reversal. But obviously what I can say is that, one, we have weekly demand that is in control here. So this sub for the buy up, breaking fractal structure, that is your weekly demand zone. Then I go into the daily time frame, and then daily demand is also in control, with this here being your fractal low, this here being your fractal high, this here being the 0.5 fib, this being a sub for buy up, breaking fractal structure and breaking out that range. Therefore, I'm interested in looking for longs from this area of demand. So that should play out in line with the overall expectation that the dollar index should drop down lower. So looking for those longs on NU, but yeah, still some short-term downside with supply still being in control should play out. For now, this supply zone here is in control, this imbalance, and yeah, that should push the market down lower, back down in towards our daily area of demand, from where I'm then going to be interested for longs. Now, obviously, I'm talking about these swing trades here, but if you want to trade the lower time frame and you want to trade the 1 hour and the 15-minute time frame, it doesn't have to be that complicated. Obviously, we can now see that supply is in control, so just follow the overall supply chain down to take out, for example, those equal lows. And then once the price comes in towards that 0.5 fib on the daily fractal structure, then just understand that the overall sell opportunities are going to be far lower probability overall, okay? So that's important to understand on NZDUSD. Then we have last of all gold. So gold itself has been rebounding back up in towards the highs. Yeah, I mean, an aggressive sell-off happened, and now we've just been rebuying gold again. Obviously, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, wait for the overall order flow to kind of like be clear again before getting into any positions. Now here we have a buy, we have correction, and then again we have a buy, and now we're just looking for a correction before again getting into a buy. So as simple as that. So looking for more buys on gold for sure, but we just need to see a nice correction once again. Here we had a nice correction phase, and now I'm just looking for another correction before then again looking for potential longs. Gold is not really a pair that I'm trading too much at the moment, but obviously, yeah, if we zoom out, just follow the overall momentum. The overall momentum is in towards the highs. So personally, I'm not looking for any sells at all, only for buys, and then buys are extremely simple. Just follow the overall order flow, as simple as that. Here, the overall order flow is up, retracement, up, retracement, up, retracement. That's what you're looking for. Obviously, yes, we could sell off from this area of supply. Then you wait for the market structure shift, and then it could be just down, retracement, down, retracement, down. But I'm not looking for any shorts because I always trade it in line with the higher time frame. As simple as that. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day. Make sure to tune into the live here on YouTube this afternoon, and see you there.